Uh, Hi, my name is Jacobo Dib Jr. I'm a medical doctor, a gastroenterologist in Venezuela, in Caracas. And I wrote recently the article on my one and only eye, Still a Woman. And what made me want to write about it was mainly to share with you what is going on in our country regarding and how we perform endoscopies and the difficulties we confront on a day-to-day basis, and which is clearly exposed in my article. Uh, did I want to say something else? Yeah, yes, I guess so. Uh, Mainly that we live in a country with low income per capita, and even for professionals, uh, it is difficult to keep up with continuing medical uh, education, and it is regarding that fact. It is also difficult because of the conditions we work uh, to plan and develop randomized control studies worth being published in recognized medical journals. I recently checked a global mapping on randomized trials and published in high impact medical journals. And of course, the US ranks first, and other first world countries, including all those in Europe, starting with the UK at the top of the list. And uh, it came to my attention that the one next or the one country with the highest rank in the last 50 years from third world countries like ours is Brazil. And Brazil had 626 papers published against 18,393 from the US, which is about 3.4%. And I looked up that country, Brazil, because it's not the same, obviously, but regarding articles per million inhabitants, it's it's about the same, right? And the lack of financial support is also an issue here. We don't have NIH, we don't have a strong industry willing to support our papers. Once again, I mentioned our randomized control studies. So how can the first world help us, countries like ours? There are several ways I can see. Maybe through help us reach out to literature, latest literature, more free access articles from countries like ours, and top journals. And the other thing would be access to free medical education, continuing medical education, which is so important for us and our patients. I can bring up the example of the Spanish Gastroenterology Society, SEPD, which in the last 2 years gave free access to people all over the world to get into their online meetings, which probably from now on would be a very frequent form of getting into meetings after the pandemic. So the other thing would be, don't be so harsh on us when reviewing our CVs, our resumes, particularly in the part which mentions published articles, because other than the cases, editorials, letters to the editor, it's very difficult for us to perform once again bring up that randomized control study. So here's just an idea of how you could help us, and I thank you all for taking your time to read my article. Thank you.